How you doing, guys? So, Jurassic Park, it's in my top 5 favourite films of all time. I absolutely adore it. And when I found out they were making Jurassic World, I was cautiously excited. Um, this video is a little bit, behind the times because it's been out a while. Let's be honest. Um, it's 2016 now. It came out like 2 years ago, but it might be no, it was last year actually. 2000. It's a year off. Anyway, point is, I was cautiously excited. Um, and then when I saw it, I was so confused. It's one of the most confusing films I've ever seen. And I don't mean that in a sense of plot, because dinosaurs eat people, awesome. And it's because I can't work out if I hate it or I love it or a mixture of both. And hopefully by the end of this video, I'm going to rewatch it and chat out loud about stuff. And then see if I can work it out, because I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let's just chuck it on and let's see. So it starts off fine. You got the creepy music, you got an egg, you got this little evil claw hanging out, and cool, good so far. I actually quite like this opening with the bird foot, which is meant to be like the dinosaur foot, and then it actually becomes a little black bird or something. I actually quite like that. A, because it's pretty funny, it's pretty clever, and B, because it's carrying on the whole bird dinosaur connection, which maybe not that many people are aware of, that dinosaurs evolved into birds. In fact, birds have been recently reclassified as avian dinosaurs, and dinosaurs, or what was known as dinosaurs, are non-avian dinosaurs. So I like that little link there. That's pretty good. So we're introduced to this family, little kid and the big brother. We then go into the kid's room, and it's already very cliched. You got like the little cute little space rocket models and stuff, and it's all blue and there's wooden shelves, and it's very much like in here, and I don't like it. I'm not 10. The creepy elder brother and his girlfriend, just so awful. And then she's like, text me pics so I don't forget, and it's like, yeah, this was written by some really cool young, happening people. So they arrive at the island, and I actually really like this bit. It's all done through like the excited little kid, which I think is good, because that's essentially what we all are watching this film, especially fans of the original. And then when he goes in, he goes on the island, and you see it all there, like as it was kind of intended to. Because in the original film, don't get me wrong, spectacular film though it is, you never actually saw it as a theme park, as people there enjoying it, fully established. And it was really cool seeing that in this film, and I really liked that. And like I say, through the eyes of the kid, all sort of wide-eyed and excited, rushing around, I thought that worked quite well. So then we're introduced to Bryce Dallas Howard's character, who has a name. And she's talking about genetically modified dinosaurs, blah 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 blah. And she's talking about the fact that attendance is falling a bit. And okay, my initial big problem is it's dinosaurs. Like they've got a monopoly on the market as well. There's only one place in the world that does this, as far as we know. And maybe just because I'm a big dinosaur nut, but people aren't bored by dinosaurs. They're fucking dinosaurs. Like, what the fuck? No. So there we go, strike one. We're then shown inside the new visitor center, and it's cool. It's really cool. You got everyone enthusiastic by dinosaurs, all the exhibits. Again, it's really cool seeing that all up and running. And then they show a little bit. It's got Mr. DNA from Jurassic Park, and this is the first of many little nods to the old one. And I like that there's nods. There's no point just ignoring it. But there are a lot in this film, and this is the first of quite a few. But at this stage of the film, I was like, oh, that's cool. That's a little niche thing that only proper geeks would get. We then led through to the control center, where we get our first dinosaur inaccuracy. I'm really sorry. I'm a massive dino nut and I'm a massive film geek, so there will be just insane amounts of nitpicking and just stuff here. If this isn't your bag, this is really not the video for you. But yeah, so they say something about these implants that the dinosaurs have, and then they said that the Pachycephalosauruses, the ones with the big domes on their heads, keep butting heads and shorting out their implants. but they've done some research and found that they didn't actually butt heads. And I'm pretty sure that research was known before this was made, which is weird, because they had Jack Horner on board, and he's like the dinosaur guy in the world to consult with. So I don't know, maybe they just ignored him. We don't know. Then we're introduced to the Indominus Rex. And I say introduced, you don't actually see it, but the guy's still like, this will give the parents nightmares. He hasn't actually seen it, it's behind a bush, which is weird. And plus, there's this bit where there's like a broken, there's cracks on all his glass, and then he's like, what happened? And then she's just like, it tried to break the glass, and it's just like, it did break the glass. Look at it, it's broken glass. That bit annoyed me. Just little bits of dialogue which really annoy me in this film. I don't know why. Now, the raptors being trained. Overall, initial reaction when I first found out about this was just like, really? But, like everyone else would be. But then I thought about it a bit, and I was like, it makes sense. They were trying to get across that they're really intelligent, and people can train intelligent animals. Some people can train really stupid animals. So if they're intelligent, it makes sense that maybe they would be trained. So I could get on board with that. And I think generally this film, it does it alright, actually, to be fair. Like, they still have a lot of menace behind them. It's not like they're just like little happy, puppy dogs. They're still pretty scary, which is good. So I think that, to be honest, I think that's pretty well handled. I'm happy with that. When we actually see the raptors, they're fully CGI, like pretty much every single animal in this film. And I'll be honest, it just doesn't do it for me. It really doesn't. You got the effects of Stan Winston from the first film again. Sorry to compare, but those life-size ones, they're just incredible, and they give the actor something to react to. They just look like an object because they are an object. And I think CGI should be used a lot more sparingly in this film. It's weird that they had one as like a sort of tribute, as if to say like, oh, there we go, Stan. But we've moved on now. But they haven't moved on. These dinosaurs, as far as I can tell, look worse. This is my raptor head here, and I think this looks better. Just on this video, if I launched this at myself, for some reason, I think that would look more convincing than a lot of the dinosaur attacks in this film. And I don't maybe just use it to enhance things, maybe. But I don't know. It really didn't do it for me. Yeah, I mean, you see that, I'm sure you've seen the clips on YouTube, those the life-size costumes they've got now. They have you can see the little people's legs hanging out and stuff, but CGI just to take those out. I don't understand why they didn't use more stuff like that. That would have looked really cool. I saw Walking with Dinosaurs live, and a lot of those, they're really convincing, creatures and stuff, big, massive models, and they move around, they're pretty mobile, and I don't know, again, just CGI out some of the actual engineering behind them. I think it would have been a lot better, and then as well you've got something for reference if you do want to use some CGI in there. But I don't know. I don't like the CGI dinosaurs. I really don't. A couple of scenes later, we find ourselves at Chris Pratt's character again has a name. At his little it's like an old caravan shelter thing, and I'm just wondering where the hell he found this on this island. This is an uninhabited island apart from the previous theme park, and he somehow got this old kind of hillbilly kind of caravan thing, all this old furniture and bikes and corrugated tin roof and stuff, and I'm like, why is he not in just a hotel or something? I mean, it's obviously to get across that he's a natural man of the world, yeah, but it's just so stupid. It's just, I hate movies so much. I love them, that's why I hate some of them. Next up is the mosasaur scene. Now the mosasaur is it's the water one basically. It's not actually a dinosaur, it's a marine reptile. I'm not really sure how a blood-sucking insect got on it, but fair enough. Anyway, something got lost in translation because it's about 10 times bigger than it should be as well. Dinosaur inaccuracy number 1. Reptile inaccuracy number 1. Statement inaccuracies. And then they feed it a great white shark. A great white shark is an endangered species, so that's just, it's just there's just no attention to detail in this film, and that really annoys me. No attention to detail whatsoever. Having said that, the scene, the way they got the stands and then they go underwater so they could see it eating and swimming around underwater, I like that. So it's very mixed emotionally, a lot of this film. You know, I'm like, oh, you twat! Oh, this is great. Back to the Indominus Rex enclosure with Chris Pratt this time. And then they try and do a thermal scan of the enclosure to see where the dinosaur is, but they can't find anything. So what do? They go in, because that's what you do. You wouldn't think, I better check those sensors in case there's something wrong with them. I think, I'll just trust them with my life and go into the giant dinosaur enclosure. So the Indominus escapes. And first we see an enormous flaw in its enclosure. Right, we literally just saw the raptor enclosure, and there's like I'm going to call it an airlock. I'm not sure that the proper name is for it, but basically, you've got a fence, and you've got another fence so that you can be in between the two fences. And they don't have that for like the biggest, scariest dinosaur. They've literally just got a wall, a concrete wall, brittle, just that apparently you can just smash through anyway. So you've got that. There's no like moat. A lot of zoos, around the world will have, a big pit or a moat so that something can't escape. They didn't think about that either. So I don't know. The use of stupidity to get the what am I trying to say? To get the dinosaur escaped, they've been very lazy. I think the filmmakers, they've just been like, oh, we'll just give it a door on the thing, and then the door opens and it just goes out. It's like that's the laziest way of getting it. Like they could have done that so much better. I don't know myself how, but then we get our first look at the Indominus as well. And like I say, I'm not impressed because the whole excitement of the first Jurassic Park was that these, were actual creatures that were alive. So you're like, holy crap, that thing actually existed. It might not have been exactly like it was, like we only know so much, but in essence, that was a real creature. Whereas this is just a made-up, like, movie monster. Like that doesn't interest me anyway. But nevertheless, here it is. So if it is a made-up movie monster, why not be more creative? Like they've got all of the dinosaurs to play with. They're going to create a hybrid, and you're like, wow, they could go freaking mental with this. They could give it freaking horns and crests and crazy shit, claws and spikes all over it, and it's basically just a giant raptor, like with a few more spikes on it. And it's like it looks pretty much the same as any other dinosaur, and you're like, well, what was the point in that? If you were gonna shit all over Jurassic Park with a non-dinosaur, at least make it something batshit crazy, so it's something new and entertaining to look at. But no, it's just a slightly different dinosaur, and you're like, what's the point? Really, what's the point? Another thing that bothers me about this whole scene is you get so it escapes. Chris Pratt's hiding under the car. You see the big fat security guy hiding behind the like construction truck thing, all loaded up with metal, and then the dinosaur suddenly becomes like crazily super strong, and it flips the car in the air. And I timed it on my phone because I'm a loser, and that thing is up in the air for 3 seconds. Like, how freakishly strong! Like, it's still just an animal. It can't just lob a car. Like, an elephant now, they can flip a car over, but they can't lob a car. It's just stupid. It's just. We then flash back to the raptors again. Not flashback, you know what I mean. We're back at the raptors. And they've got their heads in these weird little things. And again, I've got a problem with CGI here. Why CGI? They're stationary heads. You can't see the rest of them. Like, it's just a head. It's this head again, the head that I've got. Why not have that just a model? It doesn't have to do anything. It's stationary. You can make the eyes look around, make the pupils dilate. You've been able to do that for years. Why make it CGI? There's just no need for it. And it just looks worse. I don't get it. I don't understand the obsession with it. I really don't. We then have a scene where Dr. Wu, I remember that character, and the main guy have a chat about the genetics of the dinosaurs. And to be fair to the filmmakers, they do try and explain why they've kept the dinosaurs looking as they are, and haven't kind of progressed them with the actual paleontological discoveries of that have actually happened. Namely, the main one being feathers. They would now know that quite a few species of dinosaurs had feathers, including Velociraptor. So they they've made a conscious decision here to not move it forward with it and say that they've just altered the genes, and that's why the dinosaurs don't look real, as it were, which is fair enough. But I still think that was a missed opportunity, because we've seen the dinosaurs before, and it would have been cool to see like some with feathers and stuff. Like I say, make them scary, make them interesting, and kind of introduce that idea to the public in general. Because like when Jurassic Park came along, it was one of the first times we'd seen like big, fast-moving, warm-blooded like dinosaurs, and I think obviously that's kind of the general accepted opinion of them now. So again, if this could have done that, with feathered dinosaurs, and make that a more like not acceptable. It's not like it's unacceptable, but you know what I mean. Like made that the norm, and introduced a lot more people to it. I think that would have been a cool idea, and I think it's a shame. But you never know, that there will be sequels, because obviously they're never going to let this franchise die. So who can tell? Maybe we'll get them the next film. So then there's the gyrosphere. I don't understand what was wrong with a car, to be honest. Like, I get that they're meant to be able to see everywhere. The gyrosphere isn't currently a thing though, and the fact that it's running on the glass surely means it would just pick up crap from the floor and you wouldn't be able to see through it and it would get scratched. But so that seems stupid. Like that seemed like unnecessary additional CGI again. And then they go past all these giant herbivores and stuff, and that's a weird thing that I think actually pretty much all the Jurassic Park films do, where it's a clear-cut line, like the predatory dinosaurs are just evil, and then the herbivore dinosaurs, they're like just chilled, they don't care. But if you think of real life, like I wouldn't just like like walk around near like hippos or buffalo and stuff. They're herbivores, but they're very territorial, very aggressive, and so that seems strange in these films, and that annoys me. There's another bit in this that was earlier on, where they're just canoeing past them all, like little tiny kayaks and canoes, and like it's like that thing could just annihilate you without meaning to. Like it's just you don't get that. You wouldn't get a zoo now where you could just canoe kayak past an elephant, or like I say through a hippo-infested river. It just wouldn't happen. The Indominus Rex then attacks some Ankylosaurus and the little gyrosphere with the kids in it. There's a weird like nod where like a nod to the first film. You got the shot in the first film where the T-Rex put its eye right up to the window of the Jeep and looks straight in at the kids inside, and then you got the same thing here with the gyrosphere and the Indominus. It puts its eye right up, looks right in, and I'm assuming that's a kind of reference to the first film, but I don't understand the point of it, because all I did was think of the first film and then think that's a better film than the one I'm watching now. The kids then stumble upon the old Jurassic Park Visitor Centre, and when I saw this in the cinema, I quite liked it actually. I enjoyed it. It was like, yeah, that's really cool. But on rewatch, it's like they just drum it into the ground with like the amount of references. So they go in the doors, and then you see inside, then they pick up the banner, like, from the end of the Jurassic Park, yeah. Then they see the thing on the wall, where the raptor shadow was, yeah, cool. Then he just literally picks up the old night vision goggles, you're like, yep, night vision goggles, yep, cool, that too. Then they find the Jeep, it's like, yep, and the Jeep, cool. Anything else? Like, just have Sam Neill walk out from a room, give a little thumbs up and go back. Like, it's too much. The references are fine, things like that are fine, and the way the kids are walking around, it's like they're walking around like, this place. It's like they have no idea, like they've never been to this place before, and yet they're walking around looking like really like, all the memories we've got of this place, and it's just it's too much. The kids somehow managed to get said Jeep. I said that like Arnold Schwarzenegger. They managed to get the Jeep to work.
Don't give up your day job.
The kids then managed to get the said Jeep to start by giving it a new battery, which is great, because sitting for 20 years on the wheel bearings would have done bugger all to them, obviously. So there's engineering inaccuracies in this as well, and again, being an engineer, that pisses me off. So it all goes wrong. The guy gets, you've seen the film, you wouldn't be watching this otherwise. He gets in a helicopter, they try and gun it down, he crashes into the aviary, and then all of the flying reptiles escape. Now, this is probably my least favourite bit of the whole film. So they escape, and they seem to desperately want to escape. Every single one of them seems to get out of there. And then they just go mental. Like, I don't know what the hell they did to them, but they're psychotic. They, like, right, say you're in a zoo and one of the animals escaped, like say a zebra escaped. It wouldn't just go around on a psychotic rampage and just kill everyone. Like, these things are insane. That's all they do. They just go psycho and start just slaughtering people. And in truth, they probably just fly off and find a nice quiet tree and just sort of sit in it or something. I don't know. They just seem unnecessarily insane. Like, there's no reason for it. Then you got the babysitter death, which is just completely out of the blue. But it's fine, you know. Just good to make them still scary. I don't really have much to say about that. A lot of people were very upset by it. I was just like, whoa, okay, fair enough. It had the vibe of like an over-the-top like villain death, like spoiler alert, Con Air, when John Malkovich's character gets like smashed through a thing, electrocuted, crushed, blah blah blah. Yeah, bit out of the blue, but fair enough. I didn't like the way that there's the one of them that like flies towards them and then just like starts crashing through all this shit like a hot dog stand and stuff, and you're like, it's built to fly, it's light as a feather, like and for some reason this thing acts like a tank just plowing through all this crap. That annoyed me. There's a bit where they all line up and start shooting at them, and Bryce Dallas Howard's, I'm so angry I can't even talk. Bryce Dallas Howard's character, she does what you would do in that situation with people firing sort of this sort of height. She goes and climbs up and stands on something and starts yelling, because that's what you do in front of all these people shooting guns. So you know, basically she could get shot, or you know, best case scenario, she gets carried away because she's taller than everyone else and stands out like a sore thumb. So then she might get carried away by a pterosaur as well. Terrible scene, awful scene. Completely redeemed by the guy carrying away his margaritas very sheepishly. That's the best bit. Next up, we have another terrible scene where the raptors and the humans go together to try and kill the Indominus. It's not terrible because of that fact, actually. That makes sense. They could use them to help hunt it down. It makes sense. That's not my issue with it. My issue is that earlier in the film, Chris Pratt says that the only good relationship the dinosaurs had is with the hook of meat that feeds it. So it doesn't really know how to communicate, and yet suddenly it's absolutely socially cool with chatting with these raptors. That's stupid. Secondly, the whole point was to lure it out hopefully, and then they can just absolutely annihilate the crap out of it. They don't. They sit there for like 45 seconds, maybe a minute. All of their laser beams are on it, like. It's right there, and they just sort of sit there watching it like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen. It looks like it might attack us. Yeah, cool. And then they just sit there, and it's like, what are you doing? Shoot the fucking thing. And then they all do eventually start shooting. It runs off, then they launch a bazooka at it. Like, just launch the bazooka first. Bazooka, good choice for weapon, you know, good out of the blue weapon. Again, stupid scene, just a convoluted way to make sure that the dinosaur got away. And done very lazily. Don't like it. Poor. There's then a load of expositional just crap about the military wanting the dinosaurs for blah 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 blah. It's a load of shit. And then you get on to the first like raptory Indominus fight scene, and actually I quite like that. I thought it was alright. I quite enjoyed it. There's a few stupid bits in the middle of it. The Indominus gets its claw like on the kid and like pulls, but it's alright because the two humans are pulling back against this dinosaur which earlier on threw a construction vehicle in the fucking air. But it's okay because the two humans are pulling it back. Stupid. The second half of the fight is awesome, I have to say. I shamelessly enjoyed it. I love that you get the infamous T-Rex chasing her in high heels. She's wearing high heels, the T-Rex is not. Obviously that's crap, don't need me to tell you that. But then I love the homage to Jurassic Park 3, or rather the fuck you to Jurassic Park 3, when the T-Rex smashes through the Spinosaurus skeleton, and as if to say, no mate, like, I got this, don't you worry about that. And then, the actual fight is cool, like the freeway T-Rex Raptor Indominus fight. It's awesome, let's be honest, I can't deny that. And it kind of makes up for the rest of the film in quite a good way. I find the ending of it a little bit weird because it like ends. The Indominus gets eaten by the mosasaur, and then it's like, ah, phew. There's only a T-Rex loose. Like shit, there's a fucking T-Rex loose still. Like the hell. Like that's kind of the main point of the first few films. Shit. The thing about the end as well is, like, you don't see the rest of the guests, like the thousands of people they had here, and I don't really get why, because that was, I assumed when I heard about this film and saw that everyone was like, it's fully open, that there was going to be a lot more stuff involving all the guests, but they just they're irrelevant. I thought that would be like the USP of this film, like that there was thousands of people. I guess I'm kind of counting on countering my own point to the flying reptile scene, but still, like, there could have been some cool scenes with the raptors or the Indominus chasing them or the T-Rex. I don't know. Just it's the fact that they completely disappear, and it's like, well, if these thousands of people can find a safe place, why don't the rest of the few main characters just go and join them? Like, and then that would be the end. Like, it just seemed a massive waste to me. Overall, this film is so weird. Like I say, I kept comparing it to the original, and it's kind of inevitable, but you kind of want to look at it as a standalone film, because the original is, in my opinion, one of the best films ever made. Definitely one of the most cinematic films ever made. So you don't really want to compare it to. You want to leave this as like, okay, it's not going to be as good as that, but let's see if it's still a good film. But the film itself constantly reminds you of the original, and it's like, well, stop doing that. It's like constantly reminding me of something that's better than it is. It's a weird thing it does. Like I say, I feel like the director himself, Colin Trevorrow. I feel like he clearly really loves Jurassic Park, the first one. But maybe there was a lot of studio interference, or maybe he's just not amazing. I mean, he makes an okay film, but maybe he's just not great at making films. I don't know. But overall, it's a lot of missed opportunities. There's a lot of inaccuracies and stuff that I don't like. But again, that's probably me just being a pernickety film, dinosaur, and engineering geek. And that end battle really totally made up for anything, so I can't really complain that much. I've got it on Blu-ray. Like, yeah, it's alright. So thanks for watching me ranting. Let me know if you like this kind of format. I might do some more if so, because yeah, it's alright, it's pretty easy to make. I'll just sit here and yell at the TV. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Beep.